I want to create a new Springboot project. How do I create the new Springboot project? You can search in Spring Initializer. You can just type Spring Initializer. Spring Initializer. You will get most probably the first link, that is Spring Initializer. The website is start.spring.io. You just click here, go to this website. You will see a lot of options here, right? Lot of options, right? For now we are going to create there are few properties or the few tech stack that we need to select while creating the object, or we also need to give some information about our project, right? So for now you just assume that the project type is Gradle Groovy. It is always Gradle Groovy, as we are learning only the Gradle thing, right? The other version is, the other approach is Maven. You can either select Gradle Groovy, Gradle Kotlin, or the Maven, right? But we are learning about Gradle Groovy. Okay, any one of them is good enough, but all of them does the same thing. But we are preferring the Gradle because this is the latest one. These are a bit outdated. Okay, on the language. So obviously Java, Kotlin, Ruby. We are learning about Java, right? So select Java here. Then we have Spring Boot, and all these are the versions. Spring Boot versions, which version we want to use, right? Out of all these versions, please remember you should always select or it is always preferred to select the oldest version, not the newest version. The oldest version here is the 2.7.11, because the oldest versions are more stable than the newest versions, right? For example, if you see here, the latest version is 3.1.0 snapshot, right? This version is just released few days back, right? So this might be still under testing mode. Okay, so we don't know what are the issues are there, right? So that is the reason, if we select the oldest version, that will be more stable and safe. Stable and safe. Cool. Next, the project metadata, right? So in the project metadata, we give all the information about the project. What is the name of the project, right? What is the description of the project, right? There are few technical terms like group, artifact, right? Again, it's the same thing. Artifact and name both are same, right? The package, group, right? These are just the package names. Okay, you don't find any significance here. For example, for our Spring, we'll say FinOps. Artifact name is, for example, I will put app or application one is the project name. See, when I typed artifact, the name also automatically has updated. The description, I'll give something, learning project one, learning project one. Okay, if you see the package name, I did not give the package name. By looking at the above options, it has automatically formed the package name, so you don't have to touch this. When you give the group and artifact, the name and the package name will be automatically populated. Okay, so you don't have to touch it. The next option is packaging. It can be either jar or var. Jar is nothing but Java archive. Var is nothing but web archive, right? We'll learn more about this later, but for now assume that we are going to use only the var, only the var. Okay, next we have another option called Java with all the versions, right? So the latest Java version is 20, right? The oldest version is 8, out of which it is showing here. In fact, we have other versions like 1.1, 1.2. When I say 1.1, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is nothing but 1.7 actually. 1.8 is nothing but 8. After that, 1 has removed and the numbers has taken like this: 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All that versions are there, but these are the major versions, right? So you can select any of these versions, right? For example, we select Java 11. I think in my local laptop has only Java 11 or 19, not 20 or 17. Right? So that's the reason we select, we take 11. Now we are done on the left hand side. On the right hand side, there is only one thing, that is dependencies, and there is a button, right? So you need to click on the dependencies, right? After clicking on the dependencies on the top, you will see a search button. You will see a lot of dependencies here, right? You can scroll down and then select one by one. You can scroll down and select one by one whatever you want, or you just type here whatever I want, right? Spring Web is the most important and the most required dependency to add. I'll tell you what is the dependency, right? So I select Spring Web. Okay, that's all. Once I select Spring Web, I'll click on the generate. If you see generate, it will download a zipped file. Just have an eye here, you will see the download. See, it has downloaded a zipped folder in my downloads folder. To take this, I'll be copying in my projects location, right? In my project location, here I'll be pasting it, the zipped file, right? Once I paste the zipped file, I need to unzip it. I will unzip it. Open with archive utility.app. If you are using the Windows, you will see the different options, right, for unzipping. Okay, so this is the application one. If you go inside, you will see various folders and files. Build.gradle. That is because on the left hand side we had selected Gradle Groovy. That is the reason. If you select Gradle Groovy or Gradle Kotlin, you will get the build.gradle. If you select Maven, you will get pom.xml, pom.xml. That is specific to Maven. But for Gradle, it is build.gradle. Then we have a folder, Gradle folder, right? Again, within inside that you have the wrapper folder, and then we have some couple of files. One is the .jar file, and other one is the dot properties files. Dot properties file. .jar and .properties file. Let's go back. You don't have to worry about this folder. These are all the various files that are automatically generated. You don't have to worry about all these things, but majorly the build.gradle and src folder. These are the two important things here, right? So whenever you create a project, build.gradle, if you use the gradle, you will get the build.gradle. And then src is nothing but source. Inside source src, you will have two folders. One is the main, right? Inside main we have Java, then com. After com we are getting FinOps. Why? Because the group name we had given is com.finops. So first com, then inside com it will be FinOps. Inside FinOps, if you come down here, the package name, it says the application one, right? So it is application one, com.finops.application1. And inside that you can see there are two .java classes. One is application1 application.java and servlet initializer. Forget about this one for now, right? So on what basis this Java class is created, right? This Java class is created based on the name of the application. Here we had given application1. So the name is started with application1 and then application.java. For example, here you give application 100. The name of this Java class will become application 100 application.java. Or for example, if you give, it is a customer service as a project name, right? It will become customer service application.java, right? Or if it is the account service, the project name is account service, then it will become account service application.java. Java. Clear? So this servlet dot initializer, you don't even have to worry about it, right? This is just a default class. You don't even ever get a chance to open also, right? Not worry about this. So now we understood the structure of the Springboot project that has been generated using the Spring initializer, right? So what did we do? We created the project through the Spring initializer by giving all the required information, right? We had got the zipped file, right? And we did unzip it, right? Now we need to open the application where? What is the IDE that we use? We use IntelliJ. We use IntelliJ, right? So go to IntelliJ. On the top you will find a option called file. File, open. File, open, right? Now where is my application is copied? It is under, I think, work, right? Projects, December 22, right? The location application 1. So you should not select the application 1 directly the project name here. You should not select. That is a common mistake I had seen with most of you guys even in the past. Don't select the complete application folder here. Go inside the application and select only the build.gradle. Select, please remember guys, I had seen so many times that many of you were directly selecting this project, right? Or sometimes even this December 22 itself, right? That is wrong. So you should always go inside the project, right? Inside the project you should select only the build.gradle. Only the build.gradle. I'm just selecting it. Just see what happens. So after selecting, I'm getting the option open project. Build.gradle is a project file. Would you like to open this project? Okay. So there are three options. One is open as file, cancel, and open as project. If you select open as file, only that build.gradle file will be opened. But our intention is to open the complete project through build.gradle file. That is the reason we should select open as project. Right? Just click the open as project. See, the whole project is loaded here, is opened in the IntelliJ. It is after loading the application, there will be some indexing and also there will be some process happens to load the complete project. It takes a few seconds initially, right? So let's wait for this. So in the bottom, basically you see these are the four options. Here there is something called importing, right? So this has to be finished, right? You should not cancel this. Then one more thing is on the left hand side, you are seeing this ringing thing, right? This also should complete, right? And if you see on the right hand side, here also some process has starting, right? That means some process is under process. So you should see successful here. Then the last one is in the bottom. You see this processing is happening and indexing is passed. So you should just play it. Right? I think this will automatically start once the above three are done. Okay. So we should just wait for all these four things to complete. Now you see everything it says here it is importing, here it is some ringing process, here it is something is happening starting, here it is indexing, right? Once all of them are completed, you can clearly see the messages that they are completed. So you should just wait until that. Guys, if I'm going fast, let me know. These are the real-time applications. After getting the job, if you join any project, you will see exactly this kind of code. You will not see like earlier. Okay, so here that pop-up is disappeared, so that means that is completed. Here it says tick mark, the green color, that is done. Here you see the build successful message, that is done. The only thing pending is the bottom one, the indexing. Now it has started. You can see the progress bar. Meanwhile, if you see on the project structure, right, these were the same files that we had seen in the explorer, right? Exactly the same files. Build.gradle is here, right? And then Gradle folder is here. Then Gradle W is here. Then Gradle W.bat is here. Then help.mb is here. Settings.gradle is here, right? SRC is here. Apart from all these files, right, you can clearly see there are some extra things also. For example, dot gradle dot idea, right? If you just collapse it, not the collapse, just shrink it, right? These are the other things. Forget about the bottom two things, right? If you just expand the application one, apart from the things that we had seen from the folder, we are saying dot gradle, dot idea, and dot git ignore as the extra thing. So you don't have to worry about these things for now. Right? Our interest is mostly build.gradle and src folder. Build.gradle and src folder. So what is there inside the build.gradle? See, I think in the bottom you can see that progressing is completed. So you don't see anything happening now, right? That means the application is fully loaded. So let's look at the build.gradle file. What do we have, right? So automatically it has generated this file, right? You remember why the ID has come as Java? Because we are generating the project using Java, right? From Spring Initializer using Java here, right? So that is the reason automatically it has written Java, and then packaging is var or jar. We had selected var, that is the reason you see var here, and then the Springboot version, right? So these are the just the versions, you don't have to worry, right? Then group com.finops. So what is the group that we had given here? Com.finops. So we had got the same finops version. Version is always starts with the 001 snapshot. Source compatibility. Which Java version we selected here? It is 11. So we had got 11. So this repositories you can just ignore for now. Then the dependencies, right? So on the dependencies side here, what did we select? We selected only the Spring Web, right? Spring Web is corresponds to the first one here, org.springframework.boot.springboot starter web, right? So other two are by default, you will get it, right? So whatever you select the dependencies, let's say you can select many other dependencies here, right? All these things you can select, right? Whatever you select, the corresponding dependency will fall here. In this example, we had selected only one, so that's the reason you see only one here. Okay, now, so now the project is loaded, right? Once the project is loaded, the very first thing or the immediate thing that you need to do is on the right hand side, you will see Gradle here, which is in the vertically written, right? You click on the Gradle, you open this perspective, this box, right? Here you will see here there is a refresh or a reload button on the top, right? You can do this, right? Again, if you start the doing the same thing here, right? You can see the progress here, right? Now after that you need to expand the tasks. Here you see application one, because this is the application one. We have loaded the application one. That is the reason you will see only application one here. If you are seeing different thing, that means something wrong. Application one. So under application one, we had two options: tasks and dependencies. Okay. Forget about dependencies for now. Just look at the tasks. Under tasks, There are many other things: application, build setup, documentation, help, other verification. You don't have to worry about all of these things. You have to worry about only one thing, that is build. Inside build, again, there are so many things. You should just select only the build. Inside build, again build, right click, run application one build. That is the first option. Just run it. You see here, it has started. So that means we are compiling the project. We are compiling the project. Creating a Spring Boot project should become very, should be on your fingertips. You should not find any difficulty. When somebody asks you to create the Spring Boot project, you should be able to do it in just a minute, not more than that. Right? That's how your practice should be. In most of the interviews, right, they will ask you to just create the Spring Boot project. So if you can do all these things, that is good enough. But if you can't create the project itself, because we are not doing anything here, right? Trust me, this Spring Boot initializer, right? The way of creating this project was not existing some 5 6 years back, maybe 6 7 years back. For creating any project, it was very tedious, very tedious. Sometimes we used to take 1 year to just create the empty project. This is just an empty project. We did not include any if functionality still. This is just a empty project. Just for creating that project itself, we used to take months together. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It was so difficult. Now the Spring Initializer has come, right? Which is just doing our job in just a minute, not more than that. Right? All right. So build is successful, right? So that means now we are ready to start doing the implementation. Okay. So where will be our Java classes? It will be in the SRC folder. SRC main Java, right? You can see the package com.finops.application one, right? You can see application one. If you see application one class, right, it has an annotation, that is at the rate Spring Boot application. Wherever you see at the rate, that is a annotation Spring Boot application. That means this project is qualified as a Spring Boot application. Spring Boot was not there 6 7 years back. Before Spring Boot, it was only Spring. Even before Spring, 10 15 years back, Spring also was not there. It was just normal application. Later Spring had come, now Spring Boot had come. Now after Spring Boot, even the latest technologies also had come, like Quarkus, Micronauts and all. But you don't have to learn about all those things because they are still in the early stage. Maybe in another 5 6 years they get matured. At this moment, Spring Boot is the most happening framework, right? Inside this application, usually we used to write the main method, right, by ourselves, right? We used to put the PSVM, but here automatically it has generated the PSVM. Inside the PSVM, it has written one line of code. Don't touch this line of code here in the Spring Boot application. You should not touch this class at all. Spring Boot application, it will be automatically generated and you don't have to touch this, right? Now I create a controller package. So far we had created the packages based on the concepts. Now I create a package controller. Inside the controller, I will say I'll create one class, right? Flow controller. Flow controller. So on top of the controller class, I will add one annotation. What is that annotation? That is at the rate rest controller. These are all the, see, for the first time you might be thinking that how to remember all these things. But if you do the practice for 2 or 3 times, right, it will be very easy. On top of the controller class, you put at the rate rest controller, right? There is nothing difficult to remember also, right? At the rate rest controller, right? Now inside this, we should write a method at the rate get mapping, the bracket, I will say slash hello, click public string say hello. So this is just a method, right? This is just a method, right? This is just a method. So what is the return type of this method? It is string. So we should return some string. Return hello. So this is called as the API, REST API. If you are writing any methods inside the controller class, these are called as the REST APIs. REST API. This is very basic one. Going forward, you will learn even more real-time scenarios. Okay, this is just a simple one, right? Now let's run the application. How do we run the application? Before this, how do we used to run the application? We used to go to the main class, right? Wherever that main class is there or the main method is there, we used to run that. Even here also it's the same thing. Just go to the main method. Where is our main method? Our main method is in the application1 application dot java class. Right click on this class, run it. Do we get any output here? Guys, can anybody guess? Do you get any output here? Going forward, you will not get any output here. So far, we had seen the outputs happening here, right? But from now onwards, in the Springboot application, you will not see any outputs in the IntelliJ. You will see outputs on the browser, right? You can see once you run the application, it will start doing all these things. Finally, you will see a message started application. Started application. If you just go one line above, you should see Tomcat started on port 8080. These are the two important things, right? Tomcat started on port 8080, right? And then started application. That means application is started. Application is running now, right? You might be thinking that we should be getting hello, right? But you will not get it here. How to see this, right? Let's go to the browser, localhost colon 8080 slash hello. You see here in the browser, right? If you are seeing the Google Meet like this, somebody has written the controllers like this. But here in our controller, we are just printing hello. That is the reason you see only hello. What is the URL for our API? Localhost colon 8080. Localhost means my local laptop. It should be always localhost colon 8080. Why did I put 8080? Right? I was just mentioning this is the most important thing here, right? Tomcat started on port 8080. So whatever the port that it shows here, you should put that port number here. Localhost colon 8080 and then slash what is our API mapping? It is slash hello, slash hello. So when I put slash hello, it will call the this API, this API. So what this API returns? It returns hello. So we are seeing hello on the screen, hello on the screen, right? You will not see any output here. See, this is just application related logs. You will not see any output here, right? Let's say, for example, I write another API again at the rate get mapping, at the rate get mapping. I will say slash I public string say hi return. So whenever I make any changes, I need to stop the application, right? I need to restart. Whenever you make any changes in your application, you should remember that you should always restart the application. You should always restart the application. Otherwise, these changes will not taken into effect. Now again the application is started. Tomcat started on port 8080. You will see the message started. Right? Now go back to the browser, refresh this. You see slash hello, right? You just change the URL for putting hi, right? Hi. You will see hi message, right? Let's say for example, I will put slash good morning. What do I get? I get white label error page because we did not implement this slash good morning. We implemented only slash hello and slash hi, hi, right? Slash hello and slash hi. In such case, to make it work, what do I need to do? I need to do the at the rate get mapping. At the rate get mapping, at the rate slash good morning. Immediately public string say good morning. So good morning. Now we had implemented this. Go back and refresh this page, we should get the output, right? But we don't get the output, right? Because we did not restart the application. Whenever you make even a single space, if you want that space to take effect, even a single character, right? Or a simple comma, full stop, right? If you want all those changes to take into effect, you need to restart the application. Stop the application, start the application. How do we start? For the first time, you should find the main class and then you should run it. Once it is started, you can see that appearing here, the application name. So you can just select that and then click on the play button here. So it will start. This is a shortcut. For the first time, you should use this, and the subsequent occurrences you can use this button, or otherwise every time you can go here and then run it. That is also good. Again, the Tomcat started on port 8080 started application. Right now, if I refresh, I'll get hello, good morning. Guys, any doubts so far? We had arrived to the one simple application. Let me know if you have any questions or anything to repeat. So going forward, we'll increase the complexity. Is it clear? Likewise, you can write any number of APIs. Now we had written three, right? You can write any number of APIs. For example, I write again at the rate get mapping, right? Again I public string say hi. Because if I put just say hi, this is a method already available, right? We should not use it, right? Return hi again. You see here, though the method names are different, but the mapping is same. There are two methods which are having the same mapping, right? Let's restart the application and then see how it behaves. See, now it has given the exception. What is that exception? Illegal state exception. Ambiguous mapping cannot map hello controller method because there are two APIs which are having the same mapping. Here also this is slash high. Here also it is slash high. So this mapping also should always be unique, should be unique. Mapping also should be unique, right? Let's say for example, if I just put high to here, then this become a separate thing. If I run it again, you should see it properly. Application is started successfully. Now go back to the browser, right? Here just remove good morning, say hi to hi again. If you put only hi, you'll get hi, right? If you put hello,
No, can't we print all the four of them at a time?
all four of them. Which four of them? These four of them.
Yeah.
See, each one is a different URL, right? You cannot print all four of them.
Okay.
Each one is a different thing, right?
Okay. Okay.
Hello, right? Then what else we had seen? Good morning, right? Morning. We had got hello, good morning, right? Whatever the browse, I mean the websites or whatever the apps you see, right? All of them, the backend code is something like this. When you open your Facebook, if it says, "Hey Sumant, good morning," that means they have implemented some controllers, right? They have implemented some APIs like this by taking your login information. This is a very basic thing where we are just printing whatever is mentioning here, right? Going forward, we can take the names also, and then we can print our names also here, right? One simple thing we'll see. Right? At mapping. Hash. Say hi. Public thing. Again, say hi. Three I'll put the name. Right? Path variable in name. In name. Name. Now we need to run it again. Restart it again. Application is started, right? Now we come here. A hyphen I. We had got white label error page because it is expecting some name here, right? variable, I think. Okay, sorry. Say hi, flash. Somewhere here we need to put the. Yeah, let's restart. Tomcat started on port 8080. Started application. Our application is up. Right. Go back to our browser. Right. Refresh. See hello name. The URL I'm passing name. For example, if I put my name Raghu, right? Hello Raghu. If I put your name Sumant, hello Sumant, right? If I put your name Vaishnavi, hello Vaishnavi, right? Whatever the URLs, right? You take either YouTube, Google Meet, WhatsApp, Spring Initializer, anything, any. For example, you go to Amazon, right? See the URL. It is taking a lot of information, right? This is all because we have implemented something like it. Let's say I just select this air conditioner, right? See how the URL is being changed, right? See all that implementation has done using this thing only. We are just doing the very basic things, right? So likewise, we can create any number of APIs, right? If you want, you can change again. Hello, name, whatever the name that you pass, we are saying hello, how are you, right? So if you make any change, you need to restart the application. See here, whenever you pass any variable, it should have the, there are actually multiple things. The first thing that I started is the path variable. Other than path variable, we have different things like query parameter or request body, something like that. We learn later, right? So whenever you pass any variable with the accurate path variable, you need to have this variable name like this here in the path also. After slash say hi slash, and then you need to put it in the curly braces, right? Otherwise it will not work. So whatever the name that you pass here, that will come in the URL, that will come in the URL, right? I just refresh this time I should get hello Vaishnavi, how are you, hello Raghav, hello Raghav, how are you, right? Likewise we can do all the implementations. We are just printing hi hello for now. If you want, you can do some mathematical operations, whatever you want to do, right? Everything can be done. Clear guys, any doubts? I'll stop it here. I'll take the next one from tomorrow. So if you have any questions in today's class, let me know. This is the bare minimum thing. If somebody asks you to create an application, you should be able to do all these things in just 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, right? In fact, for creating this application, running this takes even less than a minute or two, but just building and then loading the application takes more time actually. So you also should be able to come to the same comfort levels. You go and join any job, you will see exactly the same piece of code. You will see the same structure of the project, right? You will see the similar things. 95% of the projects will be in the similar thing. 95. There will be some projects which are written some 5, 10 years back when Spring Boot was not even there, right? So those projects will be old, but I'm sure those projects also will be migrating to Spring Boot now. Either they're developing the new projects in the Spring Boot, or the projects will be migrating to Spring Boot. That is the current industry state. Everything is coming to the Spring Boot. You see here, and also if you noticed, when I put upgrade REST controller and then enter, I had got the import here, right? Similarly for get mapping, I had got the import here, right? And then what else? The path variable, right? This is the annotation, right? I had got the import here. Push this code. Mm, So going forward, I mean, so far you might be just looking at this app 4, right? Now we will take this new project, right? It is application 1. Create repository. I'll upload this project to this location. These things I'll teach you separately. This get thing, right? So for now, I'm just doing it for the practice, but there will be a separate session for this. What does it mean when I say commit? Because I'm clicking on some options, right? Like commit files, push, and then I'm just coming to the browser. I'm seeing here. You should see that project here now. See, the project is from here just now, right? So the time. So to SRC main controller, the package that we created, right? Hello controller. Yeah. If you want to get this project in your local, I think I might have taught you in the beginning itself, right? You should go here, or you can just download the zip, right? And then you can open it in the browser. But my suggestion is to create the project on your own using the Spring initializer. Create the projects, right? I'll just give you for the reference, but don't download this project. This is of no use, right? Because this doesn't have any functionality, right? The main intention of this today's session is to how to create the project and run the project, right? So for your practice, you should start using this website, generate the project, right? And then implement simple controller, the simple APIs, right? And then you should be able to run it and then test it in the browser. So that is the main intention. Okay, this is just for the reference. But if you take this reference, you will not be able to do it anything, because you cannot create each file manually, right? All of them are automatically generated. How they are automatically generated? That is through this Spring Initializer website. Alright guys, I'll stop it here.